Let's talk debt. We've been talking debt all week. 3 years after it issued a debt instrument in the international capital markets with a $2.5 billion aggregate Eurobonds under its global medium-term note program, Nigeria has announced plans to visit the markets again. On offer this time is the issuance of 2.3 trillion, about $6.2 billion Eurobonds to part finance the 5.2 trillion 2020 budget deficit. The Debt Management Office of Nigeria disclosed yesterday that it had secured virtual meetings with investors to hold from today up until September the 20th. In order to avail domestic investors the opportunity to invest in Eurobonds, the Debt Management Office said it's also going to hold those virtual meetings with local investors as well. Joining us to discuss these issues is Arise business analyst Chika Mbona. Chika, good morning to you.
Morning.
As always,
and thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. Give you the hottest matters. Do you want to start with debt or FX?
Okay, let's start with FX.
Let's start with FX.
Because everybody's worried.
Yep.
Some people are accusing CBN of being tyrannical,
right,
with the location of their law. But you see, let me put it this way.
Yes.
You know when you're broke, what do? You go home. You go home and
check your pockets.
Check your pockets. When you send somebody to go and buy something for you,
check the
change is, you ask for the change. And, you see, these laws have been existing since.
Yeah. Yes.
When the dollar, when oil, remember we say here that when the oil, sneezes, Nigerian economy catches cold.
That is correct.
And so when oil was $100 per barrel,
right,
we were pumping 2.2 million barrels. The CBN people didn't remember this.
It was fine.
They were fine. They didn't remember these laws, But now, oil at 1.2 million barrels per day. Even August quota we didn't meet. We didn't meet our quota in August, and then $375 per barrel. Who are broken dollars. So everybody looking for, how did you spend that? How did you spend that? So these laws exist.
Right.
Now, see, I let's try to balance things. Laws are meant to be
followed.
Yep. The laws may be bad laws, but they should be followed. Now, if they are bad, people need to go and change them.
Right.
So you find that. See, the background to this is that you can't publish this, you can't publish it. Somebody can actually sit down every day, be publishing exchange rate, and because you want to, attack the naira. So you can say today the rate is 600, tomorrow is 650, and if a site or somebody that a lot of people make reference to, there's a panic in that buying because they don't know the real thing. So that's basically the thing behind this, so that you take a rate cost from the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Yeah.
But you see, the issue is that we're also in a free economy. Which other central bank in the world where you have double rates actually will do this. So that's the balance.
Right.
So as I keep saying, at a time, there was a time in this country, 2017, when the official rate was higher than the so-called black market.
Right.
Now I hope I won't be jailed by mentioning the black market. But that's the issue about this publication.
Exactly.
The law exists. But you see, these laws have been existing since. When CBN was robust in dollars, they didn't remember these laws. But now they have to check the paltry dollars that we have. Reserves struggling at $35 billion. You remember a time reserve was about $60 billion.
Yes.
So, it was every dollar that goes out, they must talking about it. The school one.
Yes, the private schools.
Yeah. There's also a law or policy that you can't dollarize the economy.
Right.
I mean, it affected me sometime this year. There's a customer that had to do a big work for outside the country. We signed a contract in dollars. They didn't the payment. They said, see, a Nigerian company can't pay you in dollars. Also, we know where you're standing. So they had to pay me in naira.
Right.
So a lot of schools in Nigeria, Nigerian schools insist on collecting school fees in dollars. Meanwhile, there's Nigerian schools. Remember, CBN already said that if your children are abroad, you can go to the bank and get school fees for them abroad.
Right.
But we're Nigeria here, school fees should be paid in naira.
Right.
Naira. Even if they equalize you with whatever rate they want to equalize, but it must be paid in naira.
Right.
Because of the fact that if you make parents pay their school fees in dollar in Nigeria, what's happening? Because
you increase demand.
They don't qualify for CBN dollar.
Right.
They're going to go to what? The so-called black market to source cash, putting additional pressure on this
on the rates.
On the rates.
Right.
So, this is basically what's happening. So I'm telling you that CBN is, looking for or plugging all those loopholes where that put pressure on this other market to make sure that the demand equalizes. That's basically what is happening there.
Thank you, Chika. This is it's the talk of the nation.
Yeah.
Real quick, your expectations for the MPC meeting later.
Well, I mean, okay, GDP at Q2 came in at 5%, but remember it's the base year effect.
Yeah.
So we think that as the quarters go up, the rates they moderate. Inflation came down 17%, but the economy is still struggling. Consumer power is very poor, still very poor. I keep saying here that the deficit for GDP it doesn't reflect on the lifestyle of the people.
Right.
So economy is still struggling. I have a feeling that if you're in the shoes, I'll still keep the rates at least one more quarter and see how the impact. Maybe when we get to Q3, Q4, then we'll see whether we can up things or change things from the 11.5 that is the monetary policy rate now.
Yeah.
The liquidity ratio of 30% and then 27.5 in cash reserve ratio.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that's what I will do. Yes.
Debts, yes, the Euro bonds.
Look at it this way.
Yeah.
We have a budget. The revenues are less than the expenditures.
Yes.
So it's deficit financing. So approve by National Assembly. Now, so that's step one. The next thing, the National Assembly is going to approve how that's going to be funded. Basically, he said you're going to be funded by borrowing. This time, foreign borrowing, local borrowing.
Right.
Now, local borrowing, international foreign borrowing has now to be actioned, and that's why you have the euro bonds.
Yeah.
Now, they said you can raise up to $3 billion, but maximum of about $6.2 billion.
Yes.
Now, it comes with some advantages. Now, let me look at advantages for that. It comes in dollars, goes to our reserves, and helps to boost the confidence in protecting Naira. CBN doesn't go and carry it and start giving to the BDCs again.
Right.
And then wasting it in BDCs. So it helps to, strengthen our reserves, boost our currency. It helps to improve our profile also. And then borrowing from abroad also helps to reduce the pressure in the domestic market so that it doesn't crowd out, the government doesn't crowd out private borrowers.
Right.
So there's a attraction in that. But of course, there are risks also. FX talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Major payment of oil. If oil prices crash, we're going to have problems. I don't know the interest rate regime. I haven't seen the term sheets, whether it's fixed interest rate or tied to LIBOR or whatever. If interest rates are going up, it's going to affect the price and also in our ability to pay.
Yeah.
In everything. Remember yesterday we talked about debt sustainability.
Debt service.
Yeah. So those are the issues. But so it's good. Nigeria is still good. People are buying our papers.
Well, credit worthy.
Yeah, credit worthy. People are buying our papers.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it is. It will help our reserves.
Arise business analyst Chika Bono, always taking on the controversial issues. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're watching.